counted 35 cars. One
That's
minister.
a lot.
And he's a very popular minister. One minister. And that the minister is, Kebia's person. Kebia likes the person and she's always talking about the person.
Why you like this? You have to say it like that.
Yes, I need to. And we counted 35. So I'm actually going to be looking forward to, them implementing this thing. Me, I will count.
Well, it's good. Now, 3 is okay because what are you doing with 35? And that 35, those cars, you know how much? So it's good. It's really going to go a long way because the way they spend, their cost of living there is high. And I'm happy that the president is actually doing this because now he's no longer looking at just the masses. He's starting from his side. So it's something like, it's a thing of joy. Reducing the cars and the security. Let the security come in to fight insecurity in Nigeria rather than protecting one man. You see 20, 30 protect. I remember there was a place I saw like there were more than 20. They just form a barricade and one woman being inside. I'm sorry.
So they found the barricade and give me a cupboard.
So I'm so happy that he's doing this because the cost of governance in Nigeria is becoming too much. When you look at other countries, not like I'm comparing, but if you look at other countries, you see the way the cost of governance is there. But
other countries, the cost of, if we're going to talk about that, the cost of governance in other countries are extremely high. Have you seen the entourage of POTUS? Have you seen I saw an expose that somebody did on TikTok about the president of Russia and the cars that he has on his convoy.
Sorry, you are talking of development.
The question is,
that's what I was going to say,
right?
I wanted to say you are looking at developed countries. Nigeria is still developing.
Let's go to Ghana. We are developing countries, right?
Has Ghana not overtaken us?
Ghana has overtaken us.
Because they are still under.
So the president has actually looked at it, and we don't have issues with that. As long as Nigeria is balanced, we don't have issues. If carry 50, we have no problem with that because Nigerians don't care. Most Nigerians don't care about how they live their life there. As long as they are able to feed themselves, go to work, fence for them, eat 3 square meals, we are okay.
As long as Nigerians are okay, they don't even care how politicians are doing.
Yes.
Really. They just want to survive. And
now that the whole situation is in Nigeria and their life is still, should I say, buoyant. So I'm so happy that he has brought up this because I won't lie, it's to pay me.
The thing is, every time that a new maybe policy is made, take for instance when they were talking about the going back and forth on the increase of the minimum wage, and also when they were talking about reduction of fuel price. And the only thing Nigerians would hammer on is that why is it difficult for them to do this? When you look at the cost of governance, is it not saying that if you cut it down, these things you can foot the bills, really? So and if you also remember in the last election when the different political parties were campaigning, one of I think it was from LP, right? He also mentioned that one of the major things that he's going to do is to cut down cost of governance, right? And it was yesterday that we were saying that we're giving the president thumbs up, and we were also saying make it go round. Right, and it was Sadat that was saying that don't worry yourself. There are several other things that he's putting in place. Give him time. Sadat is rooting for him really.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm excited. I also feel like, sincerely, I feel like he can do more. Right, I feel like from these 25 officials for local trips, it can reduce it to 7.
Wait, is it 25 officials?
Yeah, for local trips, right? Yes. And then for foreign trips is 20 officials. No, the reduction. We're looking at the reduction now, right? I think he can also do more, but it's a step in the right direction.
Exactly. Yeah, it is a step in the right direction. And one thing that also gives me joy with this is that this pronouncement is from the man that they respect even more than the laws of this land. You understand? We've seen where several things that ordinarily should be in place or should be done or are not being done. But whenever this man speaks, because all these people, they respect their party more than the constitution of Nigeria,
Yes.
in kind of allegedly. So for the man that has spoken, whatever he speaks to them always go a long way. They respect him. And that is why we have been shouting and crying all this while that President Tinubu should please speak. Because whenever he speaks, they tend to listen more. And I believe this is a presidential order. It should be followed to the letter. We are beginning to see at least some of the things that will go a long way in helping Nigeria and Nigerians.
But please, can he do it for himself too?
He's getting there.
Okay.
He's getting there. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Right.
And he has to start from somewhere. Now that he has started from
Baby
somewhere.
steps.
I will commend him more.
We commend-
Because they say that when you say thank you to the person that gave you something, it will motivate him to do another one. I don't know how that.
I mean,
It's a
it's
thing
going
of
to.
joy.
Well, this is like this first reaction, and it's impressive that they are starting to cut down from their own. And it's not just that he's telling people; he's also doing it. He's
Yes.
also cut down his own. But we don't know the number of cars attached to his own exchange. Maybe that was not mentioned, but hopefully we'll find it sometime soon. Maybe we'll just see a video and we'll have to count the number of cars accessed. Don't forget, you can be part of the conversation by sending your contribution to our WhatsApp number on 0901-615-0614, or you can call in directly on 0808-741217.
Okay, let's go over to the next story. And it says that no deadline for old Naira notes. And this is coming from CBN. And it's straight from Vanguard newspaper. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has officially clarified that there is no deadline for the circulation of the old Naira notes, putting an end to rumors that the 200, 500 Naira and 1,000 Naira banknotes would cease to be legal tender by December 31st, 2024. The announcement was made through a statement issued by Mrs. Hakama Sidiali, Acting Director of Corporate Communications, who emphasized that claims suggesting otherwise are false and aimed at causing confusion within the country's payment system. According to the CBN, the Supreme Court's order on November 29th, 2023, which extended the use of old banknotes indefinitely, remains in force. This means that both old and redesigned denominations of the Naira will continue to be accepted and issued by all branches of the CBN. Now, Ali urged the public to disregard any information suggesting otherwise, reassuring that all Naira banknotes will remain legal tender indefinitely. Now, the CBN's clarification comes after the House of Representatives suggested that all Naira notes would cease to be legal tender by December 31st, 2024. However, the CBN has reaffirmed its commitment to continuing the use of both old and new Naira notes, ensuring a seamless transition and minimizing disruptions to the payment systems. In addition to clarifying the status of old Naira notes, the CBN also encouraged Nigerians to adopt digital payment methods to reduce dependency on cash. Now, by promoting electronic channels, the CBN aims to enhance the efficiency and security of transactions, ultimately supporting the country's economic growth. Naira notes, I remember then when, if you even go to the market, people were selling new Naira notes. Right? Because you couldn't do any transaction if you didn't have it. And you knew that there was problem in the circulation. And again, the banks would say, if you can't withdraw more than 20,000 Naira.
5,000 Naira.
5,000.
And then I was in Kaduna, and I think it was 20,000 Naira then.
Oh, really?
You just do 20 the entire day. So coming up again, the rumors is something that I think scared Nigerians. Like, are we going to go back, to that? But it's good that the CBN is coming out to clarify that, you know what, these are just rumors. But come to think of it, rumors, they don't just circulate out of the blues.
Just yesterday, I've been hammering on making institutions work. And we are beginning to see the evidence now. You know, rumors must fly, even if it's genuine or not genuine. But what is of utmost importance is for the authority in charge to come out and clear the air.
Exactly.
Now that the authority, the CBN Director of Corporate Communications, has come out to say this, I think it carries weight. And everyone will go about his or her normal business with both the new and the old currency. That currency redesign is one experience that I wouldn't want to remember.
It was a lot.
Because it's also a test of Nigerians' patience. Nigerians were stressed to the core, to the elastic.
Oh my God! I think can we just go back to that era? Let us go back to that. I remember what POS people were doing, guys. And you know how it is. You know how it is that you go to the bank to withdraw from the ATM. There's no cash there, but the POS guy who is just standing, or doing his or her business just close to the bank has cash
because they are buying the cash from the bank.
Exactly,
guys. Mind you, I remember very clearly that this was prior to the election. The old Naira redesign thing was prior to the election. And we heard very clearly that they said that, the old Naira note was going to be legal tender. I'm not going to get excited about this. So if you have, let's just play safe. If you have your old Naira note, take it to the bank. Don't wait for December 31st and now start saying, I have old Naira note and it's Nigeria. Right? I'm not exactly very positive about this because I remember that time. Oh my goodness, this is emotional for me. So sorry. I remember that time that I had a lot of cash in my store and it was quite a hassle to try and you can't even go into the bank to go. You are filling so many forms because they're asking you where did you get the cash from. You have to fill a lot of forms. I think the EFCC gave them like a form to fill if your transaction exceeds a particular amount. Yeah. So it was quite a lot of stress. And mind you, I went to the bank at the time they said the old Naira note was still legal tender. And I still went through all this stress. I'm not going to bank on anything anybody is saying. I mean, we've seen Nigeria say this thing and then it's doing something else entirely. If this is, I'm going to print this and start carrying it everywhere. I'll my phone because am I the only one that is seeing it this way that they can come out now and start saying that?
No, the thing is that is this. The way to go is digital, cashless, right? But the difficulty in accessing having access in transacting business digitally, cashless.
What do they call that platform? Is it NIBSS or was it not down? NIBSS. NIBSS. It was down at the time. Before you can transfer, you will sweat. You will not be looking for bank network as if you are looking for.
Have you been stranded in the market?
No.
Because you did not carry cash.
Just recently.
That's it.
Exactly. That is one thing. Just recently. Earlier this week, I think on Monday or last week, we all understood the experience we had with banking networks and some commercial banks, and then someone who is well advanced in knowledge in everything. Now, it seems it's a crime now to keep your money in the bank. That what he will be doing henceforth is to be keeping his money at home. If keeping in the bank becomes very difficult for him to have that he couldn't do anything. Many of us have adopted this digital transfer, cashless policy. And you couldn't, as in pushes anything, you couldn't transact any business without without having, once the bank is having issue, once one of the is it a vendor or agent, like the NIPP, is it?
NIB,
Exactly. Once there is a challenge with any of their network, you are stranded. And calling on, looking at those experiences makes it also difficult for one to fully and solely depend on our cashless policy. You understand? It is, she just mentioned one. Going to bank, it's not everyone that has a bank account yet, but we encourage every business person to, at least, no matter how local you are, to have a bank account.
Yeah.
And then you should have a mobile, a GSM. Even though you can't do using data and app, you can also do through USSD. So if network is fine and everything is fine, it's a very fine system to adopt in terms of security, robbery, incidences and everything. Carrying money in large sum is no longer in fashion. You understand? But where we really want to improve is in terms of our network.
Yeah. So let's to believe, if we're looking at the authenticity of this information, we're looking at information that is coming from CBN, that is a trusted body, and the House of Representatives. So it's not like the rumor came from nowhere. We're looking at House of Representatives suggest the old naira notes would cease to be legal tender by December 31st, and then CBN, on the other hand, which is also a trusted body, coming out to say, you know what, that's not true. The court's order still stands. Do you think is a cause for concern?
There's a lot happening in Nigeria.
Kebia seems to be tired this morning.
It's something to call, like, see, these two bodies are bodies we trust in Nigeria, CBN and House of Rep. And now for them to come out, because I'm sure they're going to pass that law very soon, for them to come out and say 31st December, they did that thing last time, December 31st. I don't know what's wrong with them with December 31st, but they did it the last time, December 31st. They came out and said that was when old cash was going to stop circulating in Nigeria. And now again, they are repeating the same thing. And now CBN is coming out to say that it's not true. Meaning that, in this case, to me, CBN actually have the power because they're the ones in charge. So the two bodies need to come together and know how to end this confusion in Nigeria, because it's a terrible thing. I remember one of my friend that his father got kidnapped and they asked for 5 million new naira notes.
Imagine.
So 5 million, that new naira note, it must be 1,000. It must be 1,000. So I don't want to I don't want to go through that experience again, where you want to buy something, it's the shop owners, they'll tell you if it's not new naira notes that they're not taking. Or you transportation, you see people rejecting the old naira notes, only taking the new naira note. Or is it POS? I bought 100,000, 10,000 naira as at that time. So that experience is really painful for Nigeria, not just only for me. There are other people. I think one woman bought 1 million. I remember that when she was complaining that she bought 1 million for 100,000 or so. So that experience is painful for Nigeria. What they need to do is not just come out and talk, but they need to look for how to ease that pain so that Nigerians won't go through that stress. So if they are going to come out to do this, they should make sure that their systems are active, systems are working, not just coming out to talk. And if they are going to, they need to produce more, not just produce half that will just go round. They need to bring in more cash so that we won't feel the impact when the old naira note is leaving. Because that last time I think they didn't, and not just only that, the people at the top, when that new naira note was coming out, there were people too also taking that new naira note. So they need to ensure that in as much as they are bringing more, they need to prevent these people at the top too from taking that new naira note. So it's not for them to just come out and sit me and Sarada know that I don't like that sit. But for them to go and sit with one piece of paper in their hand and say December 31st, whereas it will affect Nigerians, I don't like that. And now for CBN, I want to trust this new CBN governor with this whole issue, things he has been doing in CBN. But for CBN to come out and say that it's not true, because they are the ones in charge. So I believe that they know what is happening there.
So how about, the CBN encouraging Nigerians to adopt digital payment methods to reduce dependency on cash? We just finished talking about it, and we just finished mentioning that the system can't even be trusted. But do you think that is something that can be worked on? Do you think that is something, because if you also look at it, it's not every Nigeria that owns a phone. If we're looking at the people in the rural areas, if we're looking at, let's just say in quotes, the poor masses who are still trying to feed, they don't have access to a phone. A lot of them, depend on going to the banks to, get access to their money. Do you think that, I don't even know.
See, let's not lie to ourselves. This statement from these two parties, the National Assembly, the legislators and the CBN, is a very big scare, because both of them are powerful. The legislators, they legislate. CBN, what I see, because we've just spoken about the reliability of the network system to make a digital transaction seamless.
Yeah.
And then we've talked of the difficulty in buying some other little things with the difficulty buying them without cash. So it is another thing. Why I think this is a very big scare for us is now that rumor had come out, the National Assembly, they raised it. They have easier access to this cash, you understand?
Yeah.
They will stack it if care is not taken. I'm just insinuating. They will stack these new Naira notes, then leave little or less for the common masses to drag. And at the end of the day, you will see that even if CBN said it's indefinite, you will see us jostling and struggling for the new Naira note to transact business. Because Nigerians, once rumor is carried, it goes a long way.
Very long way.
It goes a very long way. We are definitely going to experience this thing. Now, if you have a new Naira note, will you just take it to the bank? Or if you have any note presently, will you just take it to the bank, or you keep it to yourself? I will advise layman wise, keep few portions of the new Naira notes with you, because I am scared. It might be difficult since this pronouncement, this rumor has come out, even though CBN has come out to quench any fear that may arise. But then let us be careful so that what we experienced last time, we shouldn't experience it this time around again. Yeah. I am an advocate of cashless policy because I am informed.
Cashless policy
but
in Nigeria.
If network is not there, how will you enjoy it?
Point. It's not about going cashless. It's not about the Naira note being legal tender or trying to move digital. Is the platform good? I mean, there's no large influx at the moment, and then we're still experiencing issue. We had total shutdown for 3 days. Hello, good morning. You're on to Bright Republic. Good morning.
They gave out a number to call. This one is studio line. They will pick it. Don't worry. We are on another program right now.
Thank you. So it's not about going digital. I barely have cash, right? Weekly, I withdraw a certain. Maybe I can understand how much. I don't have cash. I'll come to work and be asking, please, who has cash? Please, who has cash? I calculate how much it's going to take me to work in a week, and I withdraw it at once. That's how I do. Because you can't start transferring to all these transporters and all of those things. And if you look at it carefully, it's not all the time the network even works. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. J. Mr. J.
My name is Mr. J. Good morning, sir. Abi. Good morning, sir. Thank you. Bright.
Good morning, Mr. Bright.
Morning,
Good
Mr.
having you this
Bright.
morning. Yes, sir. Abi, where is it?
Oh
Where
my
is it?
God.
Mm. 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 Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Mm-mm. Mr. Bright, Mr. Bright, I think the problem is that the new one is few. You understand? It can't go round. The new one in circulation is very few, and printing is also a heavy cost on the government. I mean, now the idea is that the ones that we have printed already and should remain a legal tender until it is been until it's weak and then withdrawn. I don't think that CBN is printing old naira.
I've not even
notes
seen the
again.
meat of old notes.
There's no need again. With time, automatically it will fade out. But that they have printed them, it shouldn't just be a waste. It should remain a legal tender. Mm.
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 Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
But
my
another
God.
guy is the presidential spokesperson. So if he says something, that is also the same thing as it's just, mm, nothing.
Nothing. Probably because he has a case on his hand. That's Or even if the budget remains, let us see the budget working. You understand? Let's see the workings. It's not fake. Adding.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's true. Who remembers that?
My brother, let's not dwell on that. Because the more you go there, the more we become heartbroken again.
Yes, it's a lot of
a lot has happened in the past under. Continue from where Barry stopped. There's another superlative other than hardest we will use. Oh my God. Thank you very much, my brother. We also have to do our own, like we are doing, like we are talking. We keep talking where we see anything they do, good or bad, we talk about it. If they do well, we praise them. If they do bad, we condemn. Exactly.
Oh my God.
What?
That's harsh.
Mr. Bright.
Mr. Bright. Mr. Bright, thank you so much for.
Can't buy one bag of rice, local rice. Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Bright.
Yes.
Oh my God, you went on and on and on and on. And if you look at it, it's quite sad that if you look at the things that the APC government has done to Nigeria, it's quite sad. I remember very clearly how let's get this going. Hello, good morning. You're on to Bright Republic on Bright FM. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi,
Good morning.
Mr. Abdullah. Good morning.
Abdallah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mm.
It has satisfied the mind of so many people in Nigeria. Whether they have gotten it right or wrong, at least they have done their best.
Step in the right direction.
That is what we expected. At any time, if there is continuous complaint from the people,
Exactly.
let them listen. I wish they would listen to the issue of this fuel subsidy removal. But one thing I understand is that he has listened to the issue of floating of the naira. We want to make sure that dollarization of naira is
Reduce. I'll stop, yeah.
He has mentioned that.
Yes.
So I from now to come soon as every exchange or transaction will emphasize on the use of naira note instead of dollar.
Exactly.
So that is a good one too. But CDC as an opposition, I think they are right by looking at the loopholes on the appointment or nomination of the ministerial appointment. Yes, that is part of what they should do. One thing I observed, the Minister of Education, somebody announced
Yeah.
that he is a doctor, a medical doctor. He's not a professional educationist. I don't know how he can get it right there. Though he has some other professionals that are going to work with him.
Yeah.
Just like the man in power, look at what we have been experiencing. You take an accountant, a chartered accountant, and give him power.
And there are engineers.
Electrical
Engineer.
not anything. And look at this humanitarian, where a professional electrical engineer, a doctor or professor for that matter, and somebody that is groomed in computer and what have you, given humanitarian. I know it's part of statistics and usage of computer there, but
Not to that extent.
rid of electricity problems in humanitarian affairs.